Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is Muhi Khwaja. Today on American Muslim Community Foundation's 5 Fast Minutes, we have with us Executive Director from CAIR San Francisco Bay Area, Zahra Billoo. Welcome, Zahra.
Alaikum Mohi, thanks so much for having me.
Wa alaikum salam, of course. I want to just say how much I admire all of the work that you do day in and day out, not just for the San Francisco Bay Area community, but Muslims all across the country. So it's a real honor for me to have an opportunity to chat with you.
You're so kind. The appreciation is mutual, alhamdulillah. May Allah accept from both of us.
I mean, so let's jump into it. If you had 2 minutes to talk about CAIR SFBA or CAIR California or CAIR nationally, what would you say about your organization?
So I talk about CAIR all the time, and I'll leave it to you to tell me if I've maxed out my 2 minutes. But I love this organization. I've been with it for over a decade. Its mission inspired me when I was in college. We are the nation's largest Muslim civil rights organization. We do a number of things. We provide direct legal services to people who are facing discrimination because they're Muslim or they're mistaken for Muslim. In recent years, we also assist with immigration cases, so people who are fleeing violence, people who want to naturalize, and a variety of other immigration issues we help with. And they never have to ask themselves, can I afford to pay an attorney? Because it's not a question that we want people who are suffering injustice to have to answer.
Right.
We do a lot of civic engagement work. So this year we're working on moving people to participate in the census, and we're also ramping up efforts to ensure people participate in the election. But we know that one of the most important days for civic engagement is sometimes the day after the election. So we work with the community and elected officials to keep that connection going. We work with the media, and this was one of the catalysts for our founding in the 1990s, is ensuring that there is an accurate representation of Islam and Muslims in the media. So that means that our staff, our volunteers, our board members, and even people that are stakeholders in our work who we know as experts are constantly engaging the media, so that no one in a newsroom ever has to ask, what does a Muslim think? Well, we'll give you a Muslim so a Muslim can tell you directly, and
Right.
you're not in that. And then we do a lot of outreach and education. So one of the things that I'm missing doing, for example, this Ramadan is 30 days of visits to 30 mosques across the region. 30,
Sure.
we actually more, because none of this matters if the only people that know about it are some attorneys or some government relations staff sitting in our office. What matters the most in the way we build power is through outreach and education. And so there are 30 offices across the country that do this. I'm at the San Francisco Bay Area one, and I just really think that we're blessed to be in the most progressive region in the country, because it means I'm not fighting the guy with the funny handlebar mustache who wants to burn a Quran. I have staff who are working with elected officials to do things like pass the first facial recognition technology ban in the country, like we did in San Francisco, or partner with immigrants' rights advocates to uphold sanctuary laws to protect the most vulnerable among us. And so we're really blessed to be doing this work in this region.
So 2 comments. One, the hard work that you put into Ramadan and having that masjid-centric approach and seeing it in the community is really inspiring. And secondly, why do you got to hate on mustache handlebars? Like, Hulk Hogan would be really upset, so I'd be careful.
I miss going to the masjid so much, and I consider it such a blessing that you and I get to do that, and it's our day job, right? Like that we're
Yeah,
not trying to squeeze in going to the masjid
for sure.
after work. Like we are working fi sabilillah to do it. May Allah bring us back there again.
I mean,
Your mustache, that's between you and your face and your life choices. As long as you're not trying to burn a Quran while having your mustache.
fair enough. Fair enough. So I know we went a little off track, but we will come back to it. So if you had a minute or less to talk and thank to a donor, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that, among some of our cases in the last year, we have helped a Uyghur woman who has
Hmm.
family in China who are in these concentration camps. And she's just trying to find a way to stay safe in the United States. We've helped a Rohingya man who faced mob violence back home once people identified him as Muslim. And just in the past week, our staff moved really quickly to help someone whose work authorization was expiring, and they have a minimum wage job. They can't afford an attorney. Like literally, people talk about, like $120,000 a year is the poverty line in San Francisco. Well, that to someone who makes $30,000 a year.
Right.
Our donors make it possible for us to help these individuals. And then they also enable us to work towards systems change, because it's not just about the one case, the one case, the
For
one
sure.
case.
Yeah.
It's about passing laws that protect all of us. And our donors ensure that our team in the region is on the front lines, consistently working to serve the community.
That's so important. So, talking about donors and partnerships, how would you like to describe CAIR SFBA's relationship with AMCF?
I remember when you first came to me to tell me about the idea to launch AMCF, and you and I like didn't know each other as well at that
Mm-hmm.
time. But I also remember that Safa Ibrahim, one of our former board chairs and former executive directors, was doing this in partnership with you. So I know
Yeah.
that the organization is led by people that we trust and have worked with. And in my experience working with you, and now sort of the fully launched AMCF, I have seen it as a strategic partner in ensuring that resources are getting to parts of our community where they are needed most,
Mm-hmm.
enabling donors to make strategic choices about who and how they're supporting the work, and also, frankly, just a very efficient avenue for donor relations and engagement. You do the vetting, we do the work.
Thank you. That was brilliantly said. So, really quickly, if you can just rapid fire, what are your three favorite charities that you personally donate to? We'll obviously assume CAIR SFBA and CAIR National and 30 other CAIR chapters are your favorite. But after all of that, who are they?
Yeah. So I love all of the international work that groups like Hidayah Foundation and Islamic Relief do, but I'm not going to count them towards my three. Take a liberty here. I would say that my three are American Muslims for Palestine,
Mm-hmm.
because separate from sending money to Palestine, they're doing the work to change the conversation in the United States.
For sure.
Foundation, because they do incredible work with incarcerated people inside and outside the prison industrial complex
Mm-hmm.
to serve sometimes the most forgotten members of our community, but also the most important. And then NISA, NISA Homes, who provides relief, support, and shelter for survivors of domestic violence.
Definitely. All amazing organizations and ones that you can find in our nonprofit directory on our website. We're doing this series because we want to strengthen the nonprofit ecosystem and the donor ecosystem. Zahra, thank you so much for every day standing up for the rights of Muslims all across the country and around the world. You truly are an inspiration, and thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, Mohi.
Awesome.
Ramadan